I'm Phil Bolton with the Global Atlanta News Service, and I'm here today with Ambassador Reda Mansour, who has been in Atlanta for a little more than 3 years now. Welcome, Ambassador Mansour.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
How have you found Atlanta during this period?
Well, Atlanta is really an amazing city to be in. I've been told by many of my colleagues right when I arrived that it will be a very hard city to leave when you conclude your assignment, and I can testify that that's true, having been now for most of my assignment is done, to say that it's an amazing place to live in, to work in. It's a wonderful experience even after you have lived like I did in 2 other American regions, in San Francisco and the West Coast, and in Boston in the Northeast.
What would you say are its distinguishing characteristics? What gave you this positive feeling about it?
I think for people who come from other countries, I think Atlanta have a very exciting international scene. This is a city that became home to some of the big world corporation, Coca-Cola, CNN, and Delta are brand names almost in every home around the world. At the same time, you have a wonderful sense of hospitality. The people here are very open and curious, and they want to know international people and to be in a relationship with them. So it's a wonderful thing for anybody who comes to live here.
You can make some comparisons between the metropolitan area of Atlanta and Israel itself, quite similar in terms of population and area. Do you think that Atlanta has opportunities to learn from a country like Israel?
Well, I think that it's really amazing how similar we are. I recently discovered that actually what is now considered Metro Atlanta, which is about 28 counties, is almost exactly the same size geographically like the state of Israel. Our GDP generally is very similar. Atlanta is higher than Israel actually. But what's different in Israel is that Israel had this sense of international community very early on. I actually think that Israel is probably, after the United States, the most globalized nation in the world. And we made a lot of effort to integrate different international cultures into our society, and also to put them into good use. We are very lucky to have so many Israelis who can speak so many languages, can communicate with so many countries around the world for business, for research, for tourism, for many other issues. And I think Israel in that sense can be a model for Atlanta. How do you integrate this international culture into the fabric of your society and benefit from it?
Did that help Israel's economy? For instance, when you had the Russians moving in the early 90s, or there have been groups from South America, and even today African groups are coming to Israel. Has that really boosted your gross domestic product?
Oh, definitely. Israel have also something significant and different from many other countries around the world, where the government actually have a proactive policy of integrating immigrants. So you could see in the 90s when we received 1 million immigrants in a very short time, which was almost 1/5 of our population. We had a policy to bring in people, help them with housing, help them finding jobs, teach them the language and the culture while they receive economical benefits so they can integrate easily. And you could see that the effect was immediate. I mean, the Israeli economy was flourishing with about 7 to 8% of increase annually throughout the 90s. We also created these opportunities like the technological incubators that we have in Israel, where we let people who had sound research and business ideas come in, enjoy 2 years of support, of a decent salary and place to develop their ideas, and help them launch new companies. And these technological incubators now became a worldwide idea that people come to Israel to learn how you integrate high-level immigrants into your economy, and you benefit from that. So I can say that this immigration brought to Israel a lot of development, a lot of international relations, a lot of business with many different parts of the world.
What percentage of Israel's population would you say have passports?
Well, it's I'm talking a lot about this now with my son, who's about to graduate here from the Atlanta International School, and we always I remind him that actually in Israel it's very customary for people in his age to immediately, as soon as they become 18 years old, to go down to the Ministry of Interior offices and claim their passport. So I can tell you that probably 99.9% of the population have passports. And this whole idea of traveling around the world is something that is part of the fabric of the Israeli culture. Our kids, they need to do, unfortunately, the 3 years of draft service in the military. But as soon as they finish the service in the military, they immediately take off for a gap year of 6 months to a full year. And they would travel all over Latin America, all over Africa, the Far East, and really come back with a very valuable experience.
I think this global perspective has benefited the state of Georgia because through the Israel-American Chamber, there have been a number of North American headquarters set up of Israeli companies. Have you been part of that experience here to get to know the companies that have come, and why do you think that they settle in Atlanta?
Definitely, we think about business as joint cooperation and a kind of two-way street operation. We think that in order to foster business relationship, we have to create investment opportunities in Atlanta and in Georgia in the same way that we promote investment in Israel. We want both partners to enjoy this relationship. And because of that, and because of the efforts of the chambers of commerce that we have here, you have now about 50 Israeli companies who are located here. And they all came because we made sure that they know that Atlanta and Georgia are a very friendly place to locate in, that you have here good schools and a very supportive environment for international companies. And many of them actually, not only that they open their operation here, but they chose Atlanta as their gateway to the rest of North America. And some of them are leading technology companies that are leading their way or their field in many aspects. So we are always active to try and attract more Israeli companies to come here.